Ugh. Wanna say hi? This is Colt. He doesn't want to say hi. Okay, you can get down. Oh man. Gonna be spending a lot of money in 2019. What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Danny B Fishing. Today, we're not fishing, but we're talking about some huge news that came out in the fishing industry if you like kayak fishing. I am sure you've heard by now. If you clicked on this video, you're probably curious about it. So I'm gonna give you an overview and my first impressions of the 2019 Hobie Outback. Before we get into the video today, if you aren't a subscriber, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow the channel as much as possible. I'm gonna come with more videos, like kayak fishing videos. I'm gonna be doing some real reviews, gonna be also doing just challenges here and there, pond fishing, on a boat, wherever I can go fishing. That's what we're gonna do. So if you like any of that, make sure to tune in. Getting close to a 10-pounder. Hopefully we get one soon. But today's video is all about the Hobie Compass. Today's video is all about the Hobie Outback. I used to have a compass, but we'll get to that soon. But the 2019 Hobie Outback, everybody is going crazy over this thing, and is it for good reason or is it all hype? It's for a good reason. I think all those features they packed into this thing is crazy, and hopefully it's not too expensive. I know it's gonna be, but I'm just hoping for a decent price on it, but we'll figure that out at a different point. Yeah, this is basically just gonna be a quick overview of the things that stood out to me that's different about the Hobie Outback and why I actually would choose this one over any kayak out there. First thing is first, the dimensions. So this thing is gonna be 12 feet 9 inches. It's 8 inches longer than the previous model. The weight of it's gonna be 85 with no drive and no seat in there. It's gonna be 85 pounds. Fully rigged, so it's gonna be 103 pounds with the Mirage drive and the seat in there, so that's not that bad, especially with all the features you get on this thing. I don't think that's bad at all. It's gonna get 25 more pounds of capacity as far as the weight that it can hold on the water. Before it was 400, now it's 425, and it did gain an inch of width, and I think that's gonna help a lot with fishing in the flats like I do down here in Florida. Also, just standing up and fishing, if you're bass fishing or something like that, it's gonna be a lot easier, I think, to stand up. So everybody knows that the Hobie Outback was the #1 selling pedal drive kayak ever. We know it's a good kayak, everybody likes it, but they haven't remodeled it in a long time until now, and some of those features that they did remodel I'll go over right now. And these are the things that I think stand out. That's not gonna be everything that they've upgraded. These are the things that made me, for sure, 100% I'm gonna buy this. Now, I did sell my Hobie Compass. I didn't really want to get the Outback because it was hard for me to stand in, but everything else was awesome. It felt narrow in the older model, so I didn't really want to. I know everybody else liked the kayak, but I didn't want to get it, and it didn't fit me as well. But now it's like a hybrid. Got a piece of the Compass, got a piece of the PA, and it has some unique things of its own that makes it like the ultimate fishing kayak. It's by far the best kayak. I keep saying that, but let me tell you why. So one thing they did do with a different hull design, they did make it quieter, so it gets rid of that hull slap people talk about with the Hobie Outback. It's gonna be a lot quieter. It's gonna be wider as well and easier to paddle if you do want to paddle. It's gonna track better. One weird thing, I don't even think that I'm gonna be able to do this because buying 2 Hobie kayaks, it's kind of expensive, but maybe one day. Maybe I'll get the fiance one of these days. You can stack these things. They're meant to be able to be stackable on top of each other, whether you're putting it on the trailer or if you're putting it in storage, you can stack them together. So I thought that was pretty cool. I remember when I tested the older Outback that the seat, it was comfortable. It was a comfortable seat, but I thought it could be a little bit wider. They made it 1.5 inches wider. It's called the Vantage CTW seat. It's just the wider version of the old CT model. And I think that's gonna make it a lot more comfortable. It was comfortable before, but it needs to be a little bit wider, and they solved that problem. Another thing that people used to complain about with the Outback is that it didn't have dual steering on both sides. So that's not a problem anymore. It has dual steering. You don't have to worry about that. If you're left-handed, right-handed, you'll always have one hand free usually when you're fishing. So it makes it easy. It does come standard with the 180 drive. The one thing that I really like is they have these gel pads that go on the side where you stand up. They also have the rectangular hatch. It's not horizontal like this way like usually it's. It's a vertical rectangular hatch, and it opens up away from you. If you have a bunch of tackle you want to put in there, it comes with the bin as well. So it's not just the hatch, you have the bin that you can put everything in there. One cool thing about that hatch, it has a bottle opener. It has a mat pocket in there too, so you can put all your empty Coke bottles. If you want to just take a Pepsi out, you know, or an adult Pepsi, have a couple of those on the water on a hot day, that would be fun. One of the big things that made me really want to get this kayak is their new track system. I can't remember the name of it. Oh yeah, it's called the H-Track Deluxe system. So what this is, it has the H-Tracks that you can screw in whatever accessories that you want. But then it has the H-Rail inside of that, which is pretty cool. And then also on top of the H-Rail, it has like a little track that goes on top of the H-Rail. So if you want to put something on top of that, if you have the H-Rail clamps or accessories that you already had on a previous kayak, you can use that. But also if you never had that stuff, you can put your stuff that you had on your H-Rails or whatever rails you had before, you can use that too. So no matter what accessories you had, you can still put it on this. Also on that H-Rail, it's gonna have a bungee system, so you can put your pliers, your leashes for your paddles, your vocal grips, whatever you need. It'll just have a pulley system that you can use, which is pretty cool. That's gonna come in handy. People hate when they need pliers and don't know where they are, if they fell under the boat or they're under your seat, they fell out the boat, which has happened to me a few times. So just having that on a bungee at all times and you'll never lose them, that's pretty cool. It has the replaceable kill strip on the back, so if you drag this thing in rough terrain, it's a replaceable strip, so if that does run out, you can just replace it and put another one in there, so you don't have to worry about ever really damaging the bottom of your kayak when you're dragging it around. If you do mess that part of your kayak up, it's replaceable, which is awesome. It's great that they thought of that. Now this one does have the 4 rod holders, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You can add more if you want to put an H-crate in the back. With the H-Track Deluxe system that they have, the ones on the back, you can actually move your bungees, but it also has an H-Track in the back of the kayak as well. So you can put a huge cooler back there if you want to horizontally. One thing that they're adding to all the 2019 models is gonna be something that I'm definitely gonna use. The Hobie Guardian retractable transducer shield, that's gonna definitely come in handy. This is basically for protecting your transducer so it doesn't get just destroyed. If this is your kayak and something's coming along, it'll just recess back into it. When it goes past something, it'll come back out. It can protect your transducer. It's actually easy to mount one of the higher class fish finders, because some of them with side mapping, they have that big long transducer. I have one of those fish finders, is the Hook H2. I have the triple shot, so I'm gonna put that on my Hobie Outback when I get one. I never put it on my compass, and I just sold the compass. Yes, I sold my compass so I can get this thing. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. So you still have that front hatch if you want to use that. It's basically the same, it's just easier to get into now. Another thing they did change with the Outback this year was the rudder style. They made the rudder style kind of like the compass. Well, it's basically exactly like the compass and the PA. It's not the flip up on top one anymore. It's the kick up rudder. I don't think that messes with any of the controllability of the kayak. The compass turned on the dime, and I'm sure the Outback will too. One thing that's really cool that's designed into the hull, it has like a whole recess for the Mirage drive. So it kind of protects the fins on your Mirage drive. When it's flat to the kayak, it'll protect it from any kind of bumps or anything like that, bumps and bruises. I'm so happy I don't have to do this myself. They have 3 pre-drilled holes for your fish finder, so that you don't have to do it yourself. That's one thing I always gonna be scared of doing, is drilling into a kayak when you put that much money into a kayak. I didn't want to drill into it myself. I was going to take it to a dealer, but now they have that done for you. You basically just run everything, all the wires through the holes. I think they're water sealed. It's awesome that these things are ready to go, fish finder ready. Now what's the price of this thing? We don't know. When is it coming out? Don't know. So there's 2 things we're still waiting on to hear back from Hobie. When is coming out, what is the price? It might have been updated by the time you're watching this video. If you know, put it down in the description. I'll try to update the description as soon as possible once I know how much it is and when it's coming out. So if you guys are in the market for it, or if you want to sell a kayak to save up for it, or if you just want to buy one and get to your dealer to get a deal on it, I'll put it down in the description and see what the prices are going to be. There should be more stuff coming out. I'm sure some people get their hands on them, be able to test them, get them on the water. Then I think that's when more opinions will come out, but these are just my first impressions and all the information that I was able to find. I think it's going to be sick. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be the best kayak that's ever been created so far, stock. Just buying it, putting it on the water, you don't need to do anything to it. Absolutely nothing. It has every accessory you can think of. If you got a fish finder, you're set, which I have one. If you guys like the content, just make sure to subscribe. We're definitely going to be having more videos coming out. If I get more information on the 2019 Hobie Outback, I definitely will be making another video. hopefully I'll get to test it on the water with one of my local dealers pretty soon, and I'll bring another video to you guys. In the meantime, we're gonna have a lot of fishing videos. Make sure to tune in for that. All right, see you next time, guys. Go catch them.